What is going on, Legend Riders, and welcome back to Sam's Bikes. And we are at it again. We have done the best trail bikes for 2025. So we've done the Santa Cruz Vala versus the Specialized Levo Gen 4 versus the Amflow PL Carbon. If you're thinking about getting a high-end trail electric mountain bike in 25, you're definitely looking at these three. So that video is dropping in about a week, but right now it's all about the Santa Cruz Vala. And we've got some help here. We've got Pablo is in the house.
Hi, mate.
So Pablo, if you know him from the channel, he's been riding for many years, 49 years young, amazing rider, amazing climber, super fit, and also the cameraman at Sam's Bikes, all-round legend. And then we've got Dylan.
What's up, dude?
New to the channel, 29-year-old young Irish downhiller. He is fast, very fast rider. And what I wanted to do is I want to bring in more younger riders like Dylan to help me really test and push these bikes. He's definitely riding faster than me. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the bike and then we've got questions. And I want this to be more like a podcast, more like we'd have a chat at the end of the day at the pub talking about bikes, geeking out, because we're very lucky to have tested this bike and we got lots of information for you legend riders. And before we crack on with the rest of the video, a massive shout out to Quadlock, the long-term sponsor at Sam's Bikes. Without Quadlock, Sam's Bikes does not exist, full stop. And I absolutely love having my Quadlock, my phone, on my handlebars when I'm smashing down the downhills. If you see my POV videos, you might think I'm really good at talking off the cuff, but actually, I'm using it as a teleprompter out in the trails. Also love it when I'm doing my training rides. I can actually check my emails, check my comments on YouTube, reply to you legends, and also change my music. I also love the Quadlock off the bike. So at home, my home office, I've got a wireless charging mount. By my computer, by my bed, I've got another wireless charging mount, and in the camper van, another wireless charging mount. The whole system of Quadlock is fantastic for charging and holding your phone and keeping it safe. And riders, the legends at Quadlock are giving you legends a 10% discount off absolutely everything store-wide. Check it out, the link in the show notes. So now onto the bike. So the Santa Cruz Vala is rolling on mullet wheels. We got 160 travel up front, 150 in the rear. We got the Bosch Generation 5 motor with 100 Newton meters of torque and 750 watts of peak power. We've got an internal 600 watt hour battery. We can also get a 250 watt hour range extender. It's available in 5 sizes and weight is starting from 21 kilos and prices are starting from 5,800 euros all the way up to 13,500. Now, the exact test bike we're riding weighed in at 21.2 kilos without pedals and an upgraded aluminium cockpit and obviously Schwalbe gravity tires on all the test bikes. And the price of this bad boy is 11,999 euros. We've been testing a large with a reach of 480, stack 641, head tube angle 64.2, seat tube angle 77.5, BB drop 344 and a chain stay 434. Now, let's start off with Dylan, appearance and integration.
I think appearance, it's beautiful, man. I'm a sucker for the green. I also really like the simplicity of the bike, the 4-bar. You don't have a whole lot going on in the rear, which I quite like. Integration, also quite good. Like I really think nowadays it's very hard to fault a lot of what's on the market, and yeah, it was very easy to use and set up and navigate, and yeah, really had no issues with that.
Perfect.
Yeah, the appearance. This bike is beautiful. It's just beautiful. One of the most beautiful bikes out there. Integration. The new generation of Bosch display, I think it's the Kios 400.
Yep.
Maybe it's an improvement. It's a real improvement. The remotes, maybe the remote, this one is a little bit so a little bit.
Yeah, for me, that remote, I've broken about 3 of them. You don't want to turn your bike over upside down, putting it in the car or stuff. Like, it's quite fragile. I think the Vala is a very beautiful bike. I love the paint job here. It's super beautiful in person. It looks better in person than it does on the website. There's like a really, I don't know, it's just a very interesting looking paint job. Integration, really good integration. Yeah, 2025, this is how you expect an e-bike to look. Now, while you're all here, how does it trail ride? Downhill, enduro, let's talk about it. How does it ride?
I actually think it rides very well. Like it's one of the lighter bikes we've ridden, and you notice that it's poppy, it's easy to maneuver. It does lean more towards the trail duro side. It's not completely enduro. Biggest issue I had with this bike was, you know, the very fast big hits. You really blew through that rear travel quite a bit, and it was also noisy when you did it. But overall, still handled well. Could find grip when I wanted to, could jump it when I wanted to. So yeah, still a good handling bike overall.
I gotta say, for my style of riding, maybe it's one of my favorite bikes at this point. It's super, feels light, it's poppy, it's flickable, super fun to ride. I don't like that much to go straight line fast. I love more the switch bikes and the technical spots. And for that type of riding, I think the bike is perfect.
Yeah, totally. Like I had only 1 week on this. I wanted more. I found the shakedown ride, had to change the stem out, had a 50, I changed it to a 30. I just felt it quite a big bike for me, which is strange. Being a 480 reach, I just felt it big. Very agile, like a rat down a drain pipe. It really felt like it was really fun to ride. And that section we did in Morthal, where it's like the jump and then the second, like the two doubles. I think it's the only bike I actually cleaned it for the first time. So gave it a lot of confidence, this bike, also quite poppy. I'm with Dylan on the square edge hits. When you got up to speed, it got a bit nervous. It also didn't handle those square edge hits very well. Thought the suspension was a little bit disappointing for Santa Cruz. I mean, granted, we haven't done that much tuning. We obviously got the SAG correct, but we didn't play around with tokens. We didn't have time. I would like to try it with the coil. Would we be taken to a bike park?
Yeah, so actually that's the first place I rode this bike, and
Good on you.
of course, and yeah, like, it's comfortable in a bike park. Like you can hit a lot of stuff. Now, can you really push yourself? No, and I think it all goes back to those really square, harsh hits. It doesn't handle those well. You feel it in the bike. You also hear it in the bike, and that prevents you really trying to push harder and harder. So it can go to a bike park for sure. Are you going to be comfortable in all scenarios? No. But then again, it's not what the bike is built for. But you could.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I've never been at the bike park with a DH bike, so I've always been at the bike park with my Trial 150, 160 bike. So this bike, how it handles, for sure, is gonna be a blast in the bike park.
Cool. Yeah, I took it to the bike park for 1 day with Dylan. I think he was on his downhill bike. I had fun with it. I definitely noticed the suspension just wasn't there for the big hits, the big drops. But it was fun to ride. A couple of times a year, no problem. Now on to climbing and the Bosch Gen 5, the whole system. How'd you like it?
Overall, it was pretty good. Like I think you notice though that the biggest negative for me was when you pedal, it doesn't automatically kick in. It does take a second, and it's noticeable. But overall, when you're climbing, it's stable. I wasn't, you know, fighting the bike uphill too much. Maybe a little more on the steep sections where you had to manage your cadence a bit. It wasn't as nice as I would have liked. It was a bit noticeable, but overall, like, still a great package. I wouldn't be disappointed if you gave me this bike for the day.
Okay.
Yeah, the bike itself climbs pretty good. The frame, the suspension, the geometry is pretty nice for climbing. You're in a good position. The motor is good, it's powerful, but maybe it's a little bit aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the rear tire spins a little bit more than you expect.
Yep.
So that's maybe the only problem.
Yep. For me, I think it climbs really well. Good geometry. It's a trail bike. Puts you in a good position. The Bosch Gen 5 has enough power. It delivers the power maybe in a not a super intuitive way. Like it's a little bit on off and a bit jerky and a bit aggressive, as you said. Not the best, not the worst. It's a great overall system. Now onto noise. How did we find the noise going up and down the mountains?
So I actually had no issues with the noise. Do you hear it? Yeah, you hear it for sure. But at the same time, it's not a noise that would annoy me. It doesn't sound incorrect. It just sounds like you have a motor on your bike, right?
Yep.
Which you do. So can't really fault it at all.
Rattle? No rattle.
No rattle either. No, and I really put this bike through some heavy hits and fast descents, and didn't. It was quite a quiet bike.
Yeah, for sure. The Gen 5 has improved a lot in terms of rattle.
Yep.
You can notice a lot of rattle in the previous generations, and for the actual noise, it's a little bit more that if you compare with others, but it's not bad. It's not like other years.
Yeah. It's improved a lot.
Yeah, a lot. It's more quieter.
For me, there's absolutely no rattle going downhill, and that was the major improvement, as Pablo said, from the Gen 4 to the Gen 5. And the noise going up, yes, you can hear it, but as Dylan said, it's not annoying. It's an e-bike, and you do hear it. Now on to, is 600-watt battery big enough for us guys? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so overall, like I was getting pretty good range. Like I did one or two pretty big rides, and really didn't struggle with the range at all. I think if you're doing very, very long days though, I was doing big rides, but not really pushing it the whole day. Maybe you would want something a bit bigger.
Yep.
But for me, I like to get out on a quick spin, do 5 or 6 laps. It hit that perfectly. Yeah.
Perfect.
And the lower weight on the battery was a bit noticeable too. Like I said, the bike's poppy. So
okay.
I was riding alone. 600 would be enough most of the time. I like to ride in eco mostly.
Yep.
So for me, it wasn't be a problem. But if you're going to go with your mates that are carrying bigger batteries, you're not going to keep the pace. Now it's maybe a little bit more would be nice.
Yeah. For me, like the 600-watt-hour battery, I find it a little bit limiting, if I'm honest. Like I would definitely need a range extender for this bike. I'm not as fit as these guys. And for my weekly ride, 600 is fine. For the weekend ride, the Saturday or Sunday, most of our friends have a 700 or 800. So I would be getting the range extender for sure. On to sizing. So I'm 183. The reach on this was 480. I found it felt more like 490, 485. I changed the stem from a 50 to a 30, pulled it back. It's definitely my size. I wouldn't be sizing up or sizing down. How about you, Dylan?
no, I think the size is pretty good. Like you said, you changed it to a 30 mil stem. I think it was came with 50. I would feel a bit too extended. And I'm 175 centimeters, so at 5'8", 5'9". So yeah, it's perfect, but I'd be curious about the medium for my height, honestly. But with the cockpit adjustment, it still felt quite good.
And we will add in downhill racer, so likes a big bike.
True.
I'm normally a medium bike guy. But
how tall are you?
I'm 175 also.
Okay. Yeah.
As Dylan. And you have made a good favor to us with the shorter stem because he's nice. I dropped the stem a little bit.
Yep.
I don't like that higher stack. I wouldn't size down.
You wouldn't size down?
No.
Okay.
I feel super balanced on the bike. I feel in the center of the bike when I'm riding. I feel pretty good.
Good to know. So now on to prices and models. So there's a lot of models available in the Vala, starting at 5,800 all the way up to the 13,500. This one is 12,000. I probably wouldn't be going for this build. Having a look on the website, I reckon the Vala 70 at 8,400 euros represents good value. You're getting reserve aluminium wheels. You're getting mechanical SRAM derailleur. I think you're getting a one-up dropper. You're getting Zebs on the front. Float X on the back. That's where I'd probably be thinking. What about you guys?
Yeah, I would tend to agree because when I look at this build that we have here, the biggest thing I'd be changing is the shock, right? And when we look at the 70, Zeb is probably one of the best forks I've ridden, and then it allows me to invest that little extra to change the shock, which is the biggest upgrade I would make.
If we're talking about 12,000 euro bike, I really think they should have put in the X2.
I think so. I think when you really put this bike through its paces, that's probably the biggest criticism I have, which is the rear. But I do think the bike could be absolutely incredible. So that's why I'd go mid-tier and make 1 or 2 changes.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally agree. Maybe trying the coil shock. I'm so curious about how it works, the coil shock in this bike.
Definitely. Now, not all gravy things you didn't like about this bike.
Again, I think we've mentioned it, right? Like it's the big square hits. The bike, when you're going really quickly and you get one of those very heavy hits, you're getting caught. The bike
Yep.
is really getting caught and it's really struggling to keep that momentum. And if you're going very quick, that can all be dangerous, I think.
Yeah.
Now, again, is it the bike? Are most people going to do that with the bike? Probably not. But overall, if I was to look at the build and really criticize the characteristics, that's one thing I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Again, I agree. This guy is so clever. No, it's true. It's the bike is pretty good. It's handled nice. Maybe the only down is the rear suspension, or maybe just the shock.
Yeah. Now for me, I was really excited to ride the Santa Cruz Vala. Like it's the first Santa Cruz I've ridden in a long time. And I had a fantastic time. It is a great bike for what it is. I would have loved to have seen a bigger battery in here, even if it wasn't as pretty. I would have loved to see an 800 or able to put an 800 in it. Also, we have pointed on we're not super stoked with the suspension. I think we could tune it and get the best out of it. I'd love to try it with a coil, as Pablo said. But part of me thinks I'd love to see the VPP on this. Like I'd love to see how that would ride, because I'm curious about that. Like the V10 is the most popular privateer bike on the market right now, wouldn't you say, on the downhill? So obviously that system's working. Also, we've got the current world champion and the World Cup leader, Jackson Goldson, riding a V10. I would love to see like Santa Cruz still implement their VPP on their e-bikes. Now, I heard that it doesn't fit, but I don't know. Anyway, that's the Not All Gravy. Now, I hope you're still with us, riders. Now, on to the conclusion. How do we find our week on the Vala?
I had a lot of fun with this bike, right? If I was to sum it up in 2 words, I'd probably say fun and poppy. Like it's not too heavy, so you can maneuver it quite easily. But at those really high speed, harsh hits, you feel it. Is it necessarily bad? No, I don't think many would be buying this bike to do it and bring it to the bike park. So yeah, it's well built. It's fun.
Yep.
My week with this bike has been amazing. I felt super good. I think I've never been that comfortable ride on in a bike.
Okay.
It's been super fun, super easy to ride.
Yep.
I like it.
For me, I mean, it didn't let me down. It was a really fun bike. As I said, I unlocked a few parts of the trail that I haven't unlocked on any other bikes on a test. So it definitely was poppy. Definitely gave me loads of confidence. Just a fun bike to ride overall. There you go, riders and legend riders. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate that.
No problem.
And riders, as I said, if you want to see the Vala versus the Levo Gen 4 versus the Amflow, well, subscribe to the channel because that's going to be dropping very soon. And like always, if you have any questions on the Vala or any other electric mountain bike, put them in the comments. Us legends will get back to you. And stay safe out there. We're going to see you soon.